What's going on is Anton from antondaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Donald Trump is the greatest president of our lifetime, and it may not even be close. He may be, at the end of his term, the greatest president in history, and I'm going to tell you why. For me, there's some things specifically that is very, very meaningful that shows you that a person has no secrets, nothing to hide, and they actually working on the behalf of the American people. And this is the first time, this is the first point, this is the first time that we've seen a president this transparent. We've never been behind the scenes and behind the curtain. And of course, you're gonna have raging liberals mad at every single thing, and they're gonna find something wrong. And even though they've never, ever seen transparency from a president ever, including Obama, including Biden, including the Bushes, including Clinton, including everybody, they've never seen this level of transparency ever in history. They will complain and say, oh, this should have happened behind closed doors. Nope, we need to see it. We need to see the truth. That way, when you see Trump say something like, well, Zelenskyy is acting like a dictator, you understand why. Because politics for a long time has just basically ruling with a hidden hand, right? What you present to the people and all of the smiles and all of that stuff will allow for you to be able to steal the whole world. What you present to the people will allow for you to steal the whole world. And what we haven't had, especially in this social media era, is this level of transparency. He has been more visible every single day. He has been more visible than anybody, including our last administration, who largely operated in the hidden shadows, and we didn't even see Kamala Harris come out of the woodwork, and we haven't heard her speak until she decided that she wanted to jump in the ring and run for president of the United States of America. J.D. Vance, he's showing you signs of leadership, and I guarantee you, after 3-4 years, he's going to be even more prepared to become president of the United States of America after Trump decides that he leaves office. But watching that whole interaction with Zelenskyy yesterday was refreshing. It was eye-opening, and I can appreciate it because it also showed why, number two, we need masculinity inside of the White House. And as long as I'm alive, I will do everything in my power personally. And I know the women are going to hate this. I will do everything in my power unless the guy is just so incompetent that he just can't even stand. I would have preferred to have Biden over Kamala Harris in a second term. I don't want a woman to ever become president. And that's not a slight at women. It just means that you need a certain type of person. You need a certain type of personality inside of the White House. And masculinity has absolutely been discounted, but it's one of the most important things that we have inside of our culture, inside of our society, and inside of America is masculinity. Men are largely unappreciated, but they should be. And if we didn't exist in the capacity that we do, and I'm not talking about simps, you guys would absolutely get ran roughshod over. We've civilized society so much to where you don't believe that you need it, but you wouldn't exist without it. We've civilized society so much to where you don't believe that you need it, but you wouldn't exist without it. And can you imagine a Kamala Harris sitting there? I mean, Biden was bad, but Kamala Harris would be the worst. Could you imagine if a Kamala Harris or a Hillary Clinton or something like that is sitting in front of a sitting president, even a weak one, even one that whose country has no power at this point and is depending on you? That's how they continue to fleece America out of 350 plus billion to this date. The reason that they got so much money and they've made no inroads into ending this war prior to Trump actually coming into office, and he hasn't even been in office for 40 days, is because he was running a roughshod over Biden. He was running roughshod over Kamala Harris. And Kamala Harris even admitted that she had a great relationship with him, but she had never spoken to Putin because Putin don't respect her. Putin don't respect people in office that don't have a backbone. And if you're going to send somebody in order to end a war, you better send a man. And he better understand diplomacy. And J.D. Vance is heavy on diplomacy. Trump, obviously, he don't want Americans going to war. He don't want Americans getting slaughtered. He don't want what happened to Russia. He don't want what happened to Ukraine. He don't want our people, because that's the worst thing that can happen for all of y'all raging liberals that are basically embracing of a warmongering spirit. Nobody wants to sit here and lose American lives. and we certainly don't want to give over our money. And so that's why you need a man to do two things. One, operate in his masculinity, but two, stand on business when it comes to holding people accountable, because we should not be participating in giving you money, and we want our money back. We want our minerals out of your country, because you can't give us nothing except for what you got inside of the ground. And so I love the fact that we operate in transparency. I love the fact that masculinity is back in fashion. Masculinity is always going to be in, but now it's popular. It's becoming popular again. And I see people, again, I see the MSNBCs. I know that Trump actually held CNN accountable for continuing to ask bad questions or whatever. I see these raging liberals being so upset at every single thing that Trump does. And all that tells me is that you actually just hate this country. Trump is the personification, the embodiment of what America really is. Real talk, real talk. And I know that other guys is going to be like, oh man, Anton, you glazing? No. Me actually highlighting and championing the thing that we want to happen and to resonate in society isn't glazing. It means that that's the thing that we need to get back to. We need to get back to the core of who we are. The America of yesteryear, and everything that happened in yesteryear wasn't all great, but at the same time, we was unified. We embraced masculinity. We fought within ourselves, but we wasn't treasonous the way that y'all treasonous today. We wasn't hateful the way that we was hateful today. We wasn't so easily manipulated to where you guys can't even see, y'all can't see anything. It's like, even when he helped you and he dragged you along for what's best for you and your family, man, this dude could give y'all everything. He could give y'all changes when it comes to family court law, and you would still hate him as black man because you're so busy simping for black women. And most of the time, here's the catch for that. Guys will simp in order to vote against Trump, and then they won't marry you, they won't rock with you, and they'll go over and use their passport in order to talk to somebody that don't even look like you. That's how messed up we are as a people. Black men, not all, there are some black men that will sit here and hate on Trump and say that he racist and then go date somebody that looked just like him. And he wasn't racist until he started running for president all of a sudden. How did that become? How did that become? How did y'all love him so much? Y'all embraced him, y'all loved him. He actually helped bring Mandela and come to his aid. He actually funded some of these black people that are in politics and that are relevant today. And they was all cool with him when he was funding them and helping them, but they not cool with him, and all of a sudden he racist when he in office and he doing the thing that's best for you. We just hate people. We just a hateful people. And this is why you see them vote at a clip that's unprecedented when it comes to the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is demonic. The Democratic Party is evil. And that doesn't mean that all Republicans are good either. But the very foundation of who you voting for and the things that you stand for and what you're against is against America, and it's against its principles. I loved what happened in the White House yesterday. It's been the best day yet from a media perspective. If you don't see all of these liberal platforms suffering, which is also a reflection of what's happening in the communities, and anybody that starts to think liberal, then you are absolutely out of touch. You need to pay attention. You need to start getting on board. You need to start opening up your mind and your perspective. And you picking the wrong side. You picking the wrong side. That was the best live that I had done. And I'm not even talking about numbers wise. I'm talking about just from pure excitement and not being able to anticipate what was going to happen next. But you've seen them stick together. You see them hold it down. You see them hold him accountable. Dang, these birds is over here fighting. That's crazy. You see them hold Zelenskyy accountable. And, you know, we don't want to be in wars. We don't want to continue to fight your wars for you. We don't want to continue to give you military resources. America is closed. It's closed for business, and we fixing ourselves before we reopen to the rest of the world. That's the message that I got from it. Y'all let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Also, Teach Henley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments.